everyone. Welcome back to Opal&Mint. I am Ashley. This is probably the 5th time I've tried to do this intro due to technical difficulties. But we are back with Watercolor Blooms episode 6, and this one is going to be so much fun. As you can tell, I am in a different spot. This is our new filming area, but it's still under construction, so still working out some bugs here. So bear with us for the next few videos till we get this all set. But hopefully this intro will work and I can get this video up in 2 hours. If you are new here, Watercolor Blooms is a series where I paint watercolor florals every single week on this channel. And we're gonna go ahead and just dive right on in. So we're gonna turn the camera around, get our sketchbooks, our paints and brushes, and let's paint some watercolor florals. All right, so obviously I am in a new spot. You'll see a video soon of us changing up our filming area. And this is the first video that I'm trying to film in this spot looking down. I used to film here all the time for my makeup videos, so my lighting setup for that is already set, but for filming here, this is a little bit different. The light's coming through my water cups, so those may have to move. So bear with me for this video. We're working on perfecting our setup. So, all right, here we go. So as always, I'm in my Etcher Lab sketchbook. This is the 8x8 and we are on episode 6. So I was trying to figure out what I wanted to paint today. And I got a new set of brushes from Fumui. I bought these myself on Amazon. They have sent me a set of brushes in the past, but I saw these and I really, really wanted to try them because I've been loving the oval wash or cat's tongue, however you want to call this brush. But the color spoke to me, and having all the different sizes in the same brush was appealing to me. So I thought I would try these out, let you know what I think of them, because Fumui is pretty inexpensive brand. So if they are good, I will let you know. They are quite a long brush, which is a little bit different what I'm used to for watercolor, but I'm going to give them a try today. And I'm going to start with the size 8. Okay. So, and I am going back to my Etcher Lab palette that I started off with. So let's pull this out and get ready. Trying another new angle over here, so we'll see how that goes. But let's go ahead and dive in. So anyways, like I was saying, what I decided to do for today, I was racking my brain trying to figure out what kind of floral I wanted. You know, we've done some quite different paintings so far. I figured we'd go in yet another direction. I have, if you haven't noticed yet, I have a ton of health issues, and this is my giant health journal thing that I keep track of different stuff. And also I have a medication that I have to have delivered every single month, and I have to call it in and write down the confirmation number. And anyways, it's in here, so it all stays in one spot. And where that page is, I have marked with a bookmark of some flowers. So I painted these maybe 3 years ago. When I initially painted this, I was just playing with different flowers. And my first thought was, oh, this is trash. I'm just going to throw it in this book. But I actually don't hate it. So I kind of want to do this, maybe not as many. I think we'll do 4 flowers. So instead of just doing 1 flower today or a typical arrangement, we're going to just work on 4 different flowers. So I've done a lot of daisies. You know, I love daisies, but we're going to do these. This is different than the way I have painted them. I paint them now. So I want to paint this way. This is when I was very first starting to figure out trying to paint peonies, and this is like a simple, loose way. So I think we'll do this one, and then the pansies. I love those. So that's 1, 2, 3. So, and then we may end up with a like bluebonnet or lavender type of flower. We'll see, but we'll just do 4 quick flowers. This might not be the best brush for all of these different ones, but I'm going to challenge myself to use just this brush. So let's dive into this. I've wasted too much time talking. So this is going to be my inspiration. I'm going to start with the daisies because I love daisies and I want to. So For these specific daisies, I did the petals in a very, very pale blue. Let's start with the center though. So the center of these is actually kind of brownish. It looks like I had started with yellow and then I put brown on top of it and it just bled over the whole thing and took over. So I love looking back on old paintings and seeing the growth and the change in the way that your style changes or your technique has changed. So I'm going to mix up this cad yellow with what brown is in this center already. And I want to start with, we're just going to do 2 cute little daisies right here. So I'm just going to start with the center. I might need a smaller one of these cat tongues. Okay, so we'll just do kind of a sloppy center there. Yeah, I'm gonna grab a smaller one for these petals. I think I wanna grab the size 4. So let me get the sizing glue off of this. So far, these are looking like they're holding their shape very well and they come to a nice point. So let's explore these some more. Okay, so it looks like I used a very pale blue, like a watered down blue. So I'm just gonna take what blue is on here right now. So this is a very pale blue. It's kind of got a little bit of a green to it, but that's okay. Just extremely, extremely watered down blue color. You can even make it a little bit more gray if you would like. So I'm gonna add a touch of red and yellow. Just gray it out a little bit. Okay. All right, so now that I have a light wash on my brush, I'm actually taking what I have already on my brush and I'm gonna wipe it on the side of my cup so I don't have any excess. All right, so these are just very loose, fat petals. I didn't do very skinny daisies. These were just very loose. And I left a little white spot in the center of them. So I have very rounded kind of petals. Go, so just pulling out, keeping this extremely light and loose. Got too much on that one, so I'm gonna lift a little bit. And as this dries, this will also dry a little bit lighter than it's even going on. So keep that in mind. Okay. All right, so there's one. This one, I'm gonna kind of droop down, overlapping here. Good. Kind of going on the side of my brush a little bit. That petal is going to disappear behind the other one. All right, so we just have light petals there. We're going to add a little bit of stem and leaf. So got a little bit of green here. Grab some more green from my palette. Just take any green you have. And we're going to pull a stem down through here. And from this one. And then these leaves are just going to be real jagged and loose. So just do one coming off of each stem. Oh, this lighting is driving me crazy. When I do this, it covers up the whole thing. I need light from somewhere else. Okay. I'm working on it. We'll figure out this setup. We'll get it. It's difficult to film painting. Okay, so I'm going to put in, actually I'm gonna let those dry wait for those to dry before I put the details in. So we're gonna move on to the peony, and this one, I don't think I did with like a pointed brush, but we're gonna try it. I'm gonna take some of this like shell pink first. Add in a touch of quinacridone rose. So we've got just a nice, pretty pink here. All right, so touch of water on my brush. We're gonna start with this front. We start with the front bit here. So we're gonna get a little bit more water on my brush. Go, just place some petals there. Got more water. And we're gonna slowly build up, kind of going around this back. Just building up a shape here. Nice and fluffy flower. Okay, I'm gonna add a little bit of quinacridone rose to my brush, and I'm just gonna tap it in some of these front petals. Just kind of feather that in there, and even through this back part. Just adding a little bit of dimension. Okay. Okay. This one's facing a little bit more so we see more of the front. So we're gonna get some of this yellow, and we're just gonna tap in this center here. That kind of turned into a blob now, didn't it? Let's see here. I feel like we need to add some dimension to that center, so I'm gonna take a little bit of a deeper color, brownish color to mix in with my yellow, and I'm just gonna add some shadowing to the center. And then let's go back to our pink. Water on the brush. Just add a little bit more fluffiness here. I feel like I'm struggling with this particular brush for this flower, but that is okay. Okay. Not my favorite. Here, let's add a little bit more. It's fine. The process is always interesting, but if you keep at it and you keep trying and keep adding detail, you might still get to a point where you like it. Even if you did something where you think you messed up, you can keep adding detail. Definitely a point where you need to stop though, Ashley. Okay, I'm gonna stop there. Stop there, stop. It looks bad. That's okay. Here, now I'm lifting. I'm adding detail and then lifting. Yep, this is awful. That's fine. Okay, we're gonna go ahead and put in some green so I can stop messing with this one. Okay, and I may go back after it's dry to add in a little bit of detail, but this one that I had before kind of was the same. It was just a blob of color. So, all right, so we're gonna just take a little stem here, and I put all kinds of leaves off of this one. So let's just go with that. And coming off of here. Can even have it touch so it bleeds into the pink. Okay. All right, so there is my loose 2021 Ashley inspired peony. I think this one's better. That's awful. That's really bad. That's okay. I say that's okay and I want to keep messing with it. Should I keep messing with it? Or should I leave it alone? Taking some quinacridone gold and just putting in some spots in the center. Yeah, I should just leave it alone. Okay, we're gonna move on to different flowers so I can get that out of my head. And moving down here. All right, so let's move on to the little pansy flowers. Let's do some purple because I like purple. All right, so I'm gonna take Wisteria. This is a Daniel Smith color and I love this one. I'm gonna just plop some in here. Okay, so we're gonna start with these 5 petal shapes, I think. So these kind of have like a dip in the petal. Okay, so just have them coming out center here. This one's a little shorter because it's in front and tilted this way. That one there. Cute. So we're gonna let that dry and then we put the darker color on. So let's do another one. I want to make the color slightly different. I'm going to add in some of this freshwater from Turner's. I'm going to mix that in with some Wisteria. Okay, so we have a slightly different color. We'll put it here. This is a little bit more blue toned and purple. Your shapes do not have to be perfect. Remember, this is pretty loose. Okay, so I'm gonna let that dry as well before I do the center and the actual things. But let's go ahead and put in, I kind of like this style leaf, so we're gonna do that. So let's take some green. What color is this actually? I don't know what color. Oh, that's Perylene green. That one's deep. Let's mix it with some Hooker's green. Perfect. All right, so we're just gonna come out here. Can do some more spiky leaves. The ones I painted on, these are not meant to be the leaves from the actual pansy flower. I'm sure I just painted leaves. All right, and then we'll do one coming this way. Okay. All right, so we're gonna let that dry. Let's go back up to our daisy now. Let's take some blue. I'm gonna put it in with this, make sure we had going here. I like this one. Oh, I think this is, yeah, this is a granulating one, Cobalt Mist. All right, so just take any kind of blue. You can use gray, you don't have to use blue. If you want a more realistic tone, you can use gray. But I'm gonna take this blue and we're gonna just add in some quick little lines, okay? So let's just taking the brush on its side. This is kind of a green, actually, that I've got mixed up here. Oh, but I like it. It's a greenish blue. It's kind of teal. So just do a couple of little lines curving with the shape of your petals, coming from the base and even from the tip. Just ever so lightly. Even do a little bit of side for a dry brush effect. Go on the side of your brush. Just very, very barely touching the page though. Don't smash it into the page. Okay. And the same on this one. Okay, there you go. And then while I'm here, I'm going to deepen up that center just a little bit. So I'm going to take, I don't really have a good brown on here. I'm going to take this color right here, and we're just going to tap it right here along the base of that center. Give it a little bit of definition. Again, trying to stay fairly loose though. We don't want to go too crazy with these. Cute. This is okay, but it definitely looks like a kindergartner did it. And sometimes you just have to be okay with that. I'm going to leave it because like I said, it kind of gives me the same vibes. I just made this one taller. I thought it was too squatty. I don't know why I did that. It's fine. Okay, so, oh, I'm all over the place. It's fine. All right, we're going to go back down to these, and we're going to take green first because I want to add the layer on the leaves. So I'm just going to put a little bit of darkening at the base of these leaves, and then we'll do the same thing with the petals. So we'll take a darker version of the color. So I'm taking my wisteria and I'm going to add in let's add in some Quin Violet. Yeah, that'll be a good match. And then all we're going to do is we're going to do the same kind of shape. Just kind of plop in that deeper color at the base there. This wasn't all the way dry on that one petal, but okay. And you can even take that same color and do little bitty baby marks at the top or coming out even just like that. Okay. And then we'll add like a dot of yellow in the center for that to finish that off. But let's do this bottom one now. So I'm going to use that same color mixture, but now I'm going to add some ultramarine. I got too much. Add a little bit of that Quin Violet back. There we go. Okay, so here's our more bluish purple. Just gonna plop in that color. Okay, don't get too precious about it. Put in a couple of little lines. Just a few. Don't go too crazy. And then we're going to take the yellow. This is still wet, so it will probably bleed, but I'm okay with that here. If you have a thicker paint, it won't move as much. So I'm just tapping in my yellow center. Cute. Okay, I like these. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. All right, our fourth one. I feel like we should do this, except maybe a little bit better. Okay, so we're going to do, I don't even know what that was supposed to be, but let's take some ultramarine. I'm kind of mixed in with whatever was already here. Got some water on the brush, and we're just going to start lighter at this top part and then get more pigmented as we go down and go wider. So I'm literally just putting dashes in with this brush. All right, I dipped my brush. I dipped it in the water, and then I'm just gonna put it on the side so that it gets some of that pigment back off again for the tip. And then dip it back into the ultramarine to get the deeper dashes toward the base. And that's all that one is. Let's put a stem in it, and that was easy. So let's just get some green that's already on the palette here. We're gonna start with this one. I'm gonna come down here and just put in a few connecting lines. Doesn't have to be perfect. And oops, just ducked it in the blue. Ah, dropped my brush. It is a little bit back heavy with that long handle. And there we go, couple of little lines, and that one is finished as well. I feel like it needs a third one. I'm gonna do a third one, is that okay? I want one that's kind of drooping here. So this is the top of it. Let's see if I can curve it. Can I do this? Okay, maybe a little bit wider down here. That's not bad. Okay, that's actually kind of cute. All right, let's put the stem in there so it matches. And I think that's gonna wrap it up for this Watercolor Blooms episode. I know this one was a little different, and we did 4 kind of separate flowers, but hopefully this was good practice, and I hope that you enjoyed this. Keep your suggestions coming as we continue this series. I am loving this, and I'm definitely going to keep going with this series every week. I might eventually bump it up to twice a week if I have the availability and time in my schedule. But yeah, I would love to see, as always, if you paint along with us, tag us on Instagram so we can see your paintings as well. But that's it for this one. If you did enjoy this, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already and you want to see our future videos, hit that subscribe button down below, and we will see you guys next time. Bye. Okay, now I need a tripod. I hope that was in focus and there's audio and everything is good.